Did you know that someone might be manipulating you without you even realizing it? It's a scary thought, but it's true. This manipulation is called gaslighting. It's a form of emotional abuse that can have devastating effects on your self-esteem and mental health. Gaslighting can happen to anyone, anywhere. It can happen in romantic relationships, families, friendships, and even at work. The goal of gaslighting is to make you doubt your own sanity and perception of reality. The scary part is you might not even realize it's happening. Gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse. It is a tactic in which a person, in order to gain more power, makes a victim question their reality. This form of manipulation is insidious and can have devastating effects on the victim's mental health. The abuser manipulates the victim into questioning their own sanity. They do this by consistently lying, denying, and contradicting the victim's experiences and perceptions. Over time, the victim starts to doubt their own memory, perception, and even their sanity. This manipulation happens gradually over time. It doesn't occur overnight, but rather through a series of small, seemingly insignificant actions and comments that accumulate. The abuser's goal is to destabilize the victim's sense of reality. It can start with small, subtle comments that make you question your memory or judgment. For example, the abuser might insist that you said or did something that you have no recollection of. These small seeds of doubt can grow into a pervasive sense of confusion and self-doubt. As the gaslighting continues, the abuser's behavior becomes more frequent and intense. They might escalate their tactics, making more outrageous claims and denying more of your experiences. This can lead to a constant state of anxiety and self-doubt for the victim. They might start denying your reality outright. For instance, they could deny that certain events ever happened, or that certain conversations ever took place. This can make you feel like you're losing your grip on reality. They might tell you that you're imagining things or that you're making things up. This can be incredibly disorienting and can make you question your own sanity. The abuser's goal is to make you feel isolated and dependent on them for your sense of reality. Gaslighting can be very difficult to spot because it's often subtle. The abuser's actions are designed to be confusing and to make you doubt your own perceptions. This can make it hard to recognize that you're being manipulated. The abuser might seem charming and convincing. They can be very persuasive and can make you feel like you're the one who's overreacting or being unreasonable. This can make it even harder to see through their manipulation. They might even express concern for your well-being while they're manipulating you. This can make you feel like they care about you and that they're trying to help you, even as they're undermining your sense of reality. The goal of gaslighting is to gain power and control over the victim. By making you doubt your own sanity, the abuser can more easily control your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. This can make you feel powerless and dependent on the abuser. By making the victim doubt their own sanity, the abuser can more easily control their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. This can lead to a cycle of abuse that is difficult to break free from. Recognizing the signs of gaslighting is the first step towards reclaiming your sense of reality and breaking free from the abuser's control. Gaslighting is especially common in romantic relationships. It is a form of psychological manipulation where one person tries to make the other doubt their own perceptions, memories, and sanity. This insidious behavior can be subtle at first, making it difficult to recognize until significant damage has been done. This is because gaslighters often target people they perceive as vulnerable or insecure. They exploit these vulnerabilities to gain control and power over their partner. The gaslighter's goal is to make their victim feel dependent and unsure of themselves, which can lead to a cycle of abuse that is hard to break. They might be drawn to people who are naturally trusting or who have a history of being in abusive relationships. These individuals may already have a diminished sense of self-worth, making them more susceptible to manipulation. The gaslighter uses this to their advantage, creating an environment where the victim feels isolated and unable to trust their own judgment. One of the biggest red flags of gaslighting in a relationship is when your partner constantly denies your reality. This can manifest in various ways, such as denying that certain events happened or that specific conversations took place. Over time, this can erode your confidence in your own memory and perception. For example, they might deny saying or doing something, even if you have clear memories of it. This tactic is designed to make you question your own recollection of events, leading you to doubt your sanity. The gaslighter may also accuse you of being forgetful or confused, further undermining your confidence. They might also try to convince you that your feelings are invalid. This can include dismissing your emotions as irrational or overblown. By belittling your feelings, the gaslighter aims to make you feel ashamed or embarrassed for expressing your concerns, which can discourage you from speaking up in the future. For example, they might tell you that you're overreacting or being too sensitive when you express your concerns. This is a common tactic used to deflect responsibility and make you feel like the problem lies with you, rather than their behavior. Over time, this can lead to a sense of helplessness and self-doubt. Another red flag is if your partner constantly tries to isolate you from your friends and family. Isolation is a powerful tool for gaslighters, as it removes your support network and makes you more reliant on them. They may discourage you from seeing loved ones or create conflicts that make it difficult for you to maintain those relationships. This is because gaslighters want to have complete control over you. By isolating you, they can manipulate your reality without interference from others who might offer a different perspective. This control extends to various aspects of your life, including your social interactions, finances, and even your thoughts and beliefs. They don't want you to have anyone else to turn to for support or validation. The absence of external validation makes it easier for the gaslighter to convince you that their version of reality is the correct one. This can lead to a deep sense of loneliness and confusion as you struggle to reconcile your own perceptions with the distorted reality being imposed on you. If you notice any of these red flags in your relationship, it's important to take them seriously. Recognizing the signs of gaslighting is the first step towards breaking free from its grip. Trust your instincts and pay attention to how your partner's behavior makes you feel. If something doesn't seem right, it probably isn't. Gaslighting is a serious form of abuse, and it's important to get help if you're experiencing it. Reach out to trusted friends, family members, or professionals who can offer support and guidance. Therapy can be particularly helpful in rebuilding your sense of self and learning to trust your own perceptions again. Remember, you deserve to be in a relationship where you feel valued and respected. Section 4: Gaslighting versus Narcissism. Two sides of the same coin? Gaslighting and narcissism often go hand in hand. Narcissists have an inflated sense of self-importance and a deep need for admiration. They often lack empathy and are willing to exploit others to get what they want. Gaslighting is a tool that narcissists use to maintain control and power in their relationships. By making their partners doubt their own sanity, narcissists can avoid taking responsibility for their own actions and maintain their inflated sense of self. However, it's important to note that not all gaslighters are narcissists. Gaslighting can be used by anyone who is trying to control or manipulate another person. Section 5: Real-life gaslighting examples you might recognize. Gaslighting can take many forms. Here are a few examples of gaslighting in action: denying reality. I never said that. You must be imagining things. Trivializing your feelings. You're overreacting. It's not that big of a deal. Shifting blame. You're the one who's always starting arguments. Isolating you from others. Your friends are just trying to turn you against me. Using guilt trips. If you really loved me, you wouldn't question me like this. These are just a few examples. Gaslighting can be very subtle and difficult to spot. If you're constantly feeling confused, doubtful, or insecure in your relationship, it's important to consider whether gaslighting might be a factor. Section 6: The twisted history of gaslighting from stage to reality. The term gaslighting comes from a 1938 play called Gaslight, later adapted into a film in 1944. This play, written by British playwright Patrick Hamilton, delves into the dark and manipulative tactics used by one individual to control and undermine another. The story is set in the Victorian era, a time when gaslights were commonly used for lighting homes and streets. In the play, a husband manipulates his wife into believing she is going insane. This manipulation is not overt or aggressive, but rather subtle and insidious. The husband, Jack Manningham, employs a series of psychological tricks to make his wife, Bella, doubt her own perceptions and memories. He does this by dimming the gas lights in their home and then denying that the lights are dimming. This act of altering the environment and then denying the change is a key tactic in gaslighting. It creates a sense of confusion and self-doubt in the victim, making them question their own reality. He also hides objects and moves things around, further making his wife question her own sanity. By constantly altering her surroundings and then denying any changes, Jack creates a world where Bella feels increasingly disoriented and unsure of herself. The play and film perfectly illustrate the insidious nature of gaslighting. They show how a manipulator can slowly erode a person's sense of self and reality through persistent and subtle psychological tactics. The audience witnesses the gradual breakdown of Bella's confidence and mental stability, making the term gaslighting a powerful metaphor for this type of abuse. The husband's actions are subtle and gradual, but they have a devastating impact on his wife's mental state. Each small act of manipulation builds upon the last, creating a cumulative effect that leaves Bella feeling isolated and helpless. The audience can see the sinister intent behind Jack's seemingly innocent actions, highlighting the danger of such psychological manipulation. Over time, she begins to doubt her own memories and perceptions. The constant gaslighting makes her question everything she once knew to be true. This doubt extends to her own identity and sense of self-worth, leading to a profound psychological crisis. She starts to believe that she is losing her mind. The relentless manipulation has taken its toll, and Bella's grip on reality becomes increasingly tenuous. Her isolation is compounded by the fact that those around her, influenced by Jack's manipulations, also begin to doubt her sanity. The term gaslighting has since become a popular term for any type of psychological manipulation that aims to make someone question their own sanity. In modern contexts, gaslighting can occur in various relationships, including romantic partnerships, friendships, and even professional environments. The tactics may vary, but the underlying goal remains the same: to undermine the victim's confidence and control their perception of reality. Understanding the origins of the term helps us recognize and combat this form of psychological abuse in our own lives.